So, today we're going to dive into a really fascinating business plan. It's a proposal to build a huge state-of-the-art insulin factory right in Abu Dhabi. We're going to look at the health crisis that's making this so necessary, the incredible scale of the proposed operation, and of course the powerful financial case that's driving the whole thing.
Okay, so first things first, let's get on the same page about the core health issue here, diabetes. You know, it's basically a condition where your body's relationship with insulin just breaks down. Think of insulin as the key that unlocks your cells to let in sugar or glucose for energy. If that key doesn't work, or you don't have enough keys, the sugar just builds up in your blood, and that's where all the trouble starts.
And the scale of this problem? It is absolutely staggering. This number, 76 million, that's how many adults in the Middle East and North Africa are projected to have diabetes by 2030. And get this, that's up from 55 million back in 2019. This isn't just a problem, it's an accelerating crisis.
Right. So behind that huge number, there's a very real human cost. Let's talk for a second about what can happen when diabetes isn't managed properly.
You see, when sugar levels in the blood stay high for too long, it causes just devastating damage all over the body. We're talking about really severe, life-changing conditions. This is exactly why getting insulin to people who need it isn't just a convenience. It's absolutely critical to preventing these outcomes and, frankly, to saving lives.
So that growing crisis is the whole reason this ambitious proposal is even on the table. So, what's the plan to actually tackle this thing head-on? Here's the big idea. Instead of just relying on imports, the plan is to create a local, self-sufficient supply. The proposal calls for a brand new, cutting-edge factory built right in the UAE that is completely dedicated to producing the massive amounts of insulin the region needs. And the production goals here are just immense. The factory is designed to crank out 400 kilograms of pure crystalline insulin every single year. That's the raw active ingredient. That insulin is then used to fill over 26 million cartridges. Now, what's really smart about this strategy is that they plan to produce the most critical part, the insulin itself, in-house. But they'll buy the delivery devices, the pens and needles, from other suppliers. It just streamlines the whole process.
So what does all that production actually look like for a patient? Well, it all gets bundled into something the plan calls a patient set. Each one of these sets has one injectable pen, 100 needles, and 8 cartridges of insulin. It's basically everything one patient needs for about 2 months, or 8 weeks. And here's where it gets really impressive. When you do the math, the factory's total annual output is enough to supply these 8-week sets to around 700,000 patients all year long. I mean, that is a huge leap towards meeting the region's demand from one single local factory.
Okay, so how does a project this huge go from being an idea on a piece of paper to an actual factory shipping out patient kits? Let's take a look at the timeline and the sheer scale of this thing.
The timeline here is pretty aggressive. From the moment they hit go, the plan is to have the factory built and ready to operate in just 36 months. That's 3 years. But it doesn't stop there. It'll take another whole year after that to ramp everything up and reach full production. So you're looking at a 4-year journey from day one to running at full steam.
And the physical size of this place is pretty significant. We're talking about 50,000 square meters of land. That's roughly the size of 10 football fields. That space will hold 2 main buildings, one for the super complex biotech process of actually making the insulin, and a second one for the fill and finish part where they put it into cartridges and package it all up. And the whole thing will be run by a team of about 220 full-time employees.
Now, as you can probably imagine, building a high-tech facility like this is not cheap. The upfront investment is just enormous. So let's break down those numbers.
The total capital needed to take this project from a blueprint to a fully running business over the first 4 years is a staggering 800 million euros. It's a massive figure, so let's see exactly where all that money is going.
And here's how that massive number splits up. You can see that a little over half of it, 430 million euros, is the initial cost to actually build the factory. But the other 370 million euros, that's what's budgeted for all the startup and operating costs during those first 4 critical years while it's still ramping up.
This gives us a really clear look at the ongoing costs once the factory is running at 100%.
The total annual expense is projected to be about 181 million euros. And check this out. The biggest slice of that pie, almost half of the entire running cost, is just for buying the pens and needles that they package with the insulin they make themselves.
So you've got an 800 million euro investment and 181 million euros in costs every year. The big question is, does this actually make sense as a business? Let's flip over and look at the revenue side of things.
And this right here, this is the engine that makes the whole business model work. The total cost to make and package one of those 8-week patient sets is $54.90. The plan is to sell that same set for $108. That's almost exactly a 100% markup.
And that per unit margin really scales up. When you're selling 3.3 million of those sets every year, the total annual sales are projected to be over 356 million euros. Now, subtract the 181 million euros in annual costs we just saw, and you start to see a very profitable picture taking shape. And here it is, the bottom line. After every single expense is paid, the business plan projects an annual profit before tax of over 175 million euros. So yeah, this project isn't just designed to be a public health solution. It's also built to be an incredibly powerful and profitable business.
So, this all leaves us with a really compelling question, doesn't it? This plan lays out a model that tackles a critical health need for millions, while at the same time creating a major, financially successful industry. It's this powerful mix of public good and private profit, and it really makes you wonder, is this the blueprint for how essential medicines are going to be secured in the region for years to come?